Let's start off with saying congratulations on the third annual Vashon Island Film Festival. There's so many good films that you guys have this year. What is the process in selecting them?
So we settled on a curation strategy, initially just because in launching a film festival, the amount of bandwidth you have to have and staff to accept submissions and to be able to go through them and feel like you're giving everybody a fair shot and really watching them was just going to be too difficult when we had initially founded the festival. So in switching, very quickly to this curated mindset, it became apparent to me that one of the ways we could really stand out was that if we were to think of it as like a greatest hits or a best of the best fest, where we took grand jury prize and audience award winners from the major festivals like Cannes and Sundance and South by Southwest and Tribeca and Berlinale and several others and put them in competition together at once, sort of at the end of the festival season. It would be this really amazing opportunity for people that might not have had the opportunity to go to France or to Park City or to Austin to see these incredible films, but be able to see them here. And then the other plus is to have them compete against each other,
Mhm.
as sort of like the creme de la creme, was just really exciting for us. And I've been very thankful and, that we've been able to get the films that we've got. And I'm very, proud of our curation strategy.
With picking from the best of the best that are coming to this film festival, you also have a world premiere. How did you decide to bring on a film that will world premiere? I believe the name is Inheritance.
Well, Inheritance will be a Pacific Northwest premiere.
Oh,
It did premiere in Dances with Films last month down in Los Angeles, but we do have an episodic pilot that was produced entirely in the Bellingham area and around. That is a world premiere, and it's called The Sound. We're very excited to show that.
as I'm watching some of these films, there's like so much talent in this. What are you most looking forward to watching when you get to see this at the film festival?
Well, I've seen all of them, and I always tell people because they ask what, if they're going to only watch a few, what they should watch, and I always tell them, if you're only going to watch a few, the bad news is you're going to miss
Mhm.
some other great films. The good news is you can't make a bad choice. Um, so there's a handful that I feel like, are just if you're interested in how they performed on, in the preceding festival season, there's some real standouts, which is, A New Kind of Wilderness, took home, big awards for docs at Sundance. Porcelain War actually won Best Doc at Sundance. Resonator was the audience award winner for Best Doc at South by Southwest. But then you have Black Dog, which was, top in certain regard at Cannes. You have Griffin in Summer, which basically swept Tribeca for Best Feature and Best Director. Um, and then you also have, I Saw the TV Glow from A24, which a lot of people, have said they think it's the best film of 2024, if not the decade. Um, and I know I'm missing so many, off the top of my head. Suho, we have Suho as our closing night film on Sunday. That won the grand jury prize for world cinema at Sundance. It just you literally cannot make a bad choice. They're all worthwhile. And I also tell everybody, not to sleep on the short film blocks.
Mhm.
The short films are very creative, wonderful films. I know people tend to get more excited by the features because they might be more familiar with how they performed on the festival circuit. But all of these short films also performed very well and are remarkable in their own right.
This is, one of many film festivals that are going on, and we've had so many pop up in the past. This is the third one for Vashon. What makes you continue to put this on? What will what it makes this film festival stand out?
Yeah, a couple things. The first is probably the location, with it being on the island and the island being such a special place, the special place that it is, and it has a very laid back sort of vacation vibe. So it's different from the other festivals in that, you might see the films that you would still see at the major festivals, but instead of watching them in black attire, you get to watch them in flip-flops and shorts or sweatpants. It's a much more casual, sort of laid back vibe, but with the same quality of programming. And there's wonderful places to eat, wonderful shops to visit. The island itself is incredibly beautiful with wonderful hiking and beaches and lots of things to do outdoors. So there's that component of it alone. We also, have more than just movies at the festival. On Thursday night, we have an opening night reception. On Friday night, we have the Rock concert, and we have this hit cover band 90s Rewind playing. On Saturday night, we have the Saturday night soiree, which is sort of like an epic block party in the back lot of the theater. And we have DJ Marco Collins, spinning on the tables, former KEXP and kind of a Seattle legend that was instrumental in breaking a bunch of bands like Nirvana and the Foo Fighters and Beck and Weezer. So, and then our award show on Sunday night, the Red Bicycle Awards. So there are these ancillary events in addition to the film screenings themselves that we have. But more than all of that is, the Vashon Island Film Festival is just one program of the Vashon Film Institute, which is the 501c3 nonprofit that hosts it. And so there's a lot more going on, beyond just the film festival. And so coming to support this program is also supporting the Institute. And we have a quartermaster lab, which will launch in January 2025, which is sort of modeled after what the Sundance Institute is doing, where it will take projects and filmmakers in, workshop those projects, and then if the board greenlights them, be able to have the option to physically produce and release them, which kind of takes it a step beyond even what Sundance is doing to a large degree. And that will then get kicked over to VFI Presents, which is our production and release arm, which will do that. But it's also putting on a variety of events, both on the island and in the greater Pacific Northwest. We have a night market at the back lot of the theater on Vashon that's already started. We're looking at helping other, struggling independent movie houses find sustainability in their programming, in sort of an indie theater renovation sustainability project, and a lot of other exciting stuff coming up. So the film festival is our flagship program, and it's the thing that's it's more mature and has been more developed, but it's just the beginning of what we're going to do to help support and foster independent filmmaking in the Pacific Northwest.
Yeah, it seems that there's a lot that you guys are trying to do. Where does this passion for you come from? Because it seems that you love entertainment. There's so much that this film festival includes, and there's so much more beyond this film festival. For you
Yeah,
personally, where does
I I lived in Los Angeles for nearly 2 decades and was a motion picture producer there for the majority of it. And when I decided to move back to Vashon, I wanted to give back to the community, and so that was at the top of my list of things to do. And then COVID happened, and as terrible as the pandemic was, there was some kismet in it for me where I knew that the Vashon Theater, which was a seminal, arts institution for me growing up, it's where I watched all the films because I grew up on Vashon. That would really influence my career path and my work. So I knew that I wanted to be able to be as helpful as possible, and in discussing what the strategy was to help the theater keep its doors open once they were able to be open. Eileen Wolcott, who's the theater owner there, and her family, we decided that a film festival might be a really good idea and a way to get people back to the movie theater. So that's really how it started. It's become a much bigger thing than that now, but that's the genesis of the project. And then, of course, now I'm also the the owner and operator of the Forge, which is a motion picture sales and distribution company. So I'm at most of these festivals and the markets, so I'm aware of the films that are there. And in some circumstances, even wind up distributing some of these.
Um, for me, I really enjoy independent films. I think they're very creative in the way that they get things done and the way we see things on screen. But on top of all that, the storytelling is at such a higher level now in the independent industry than it has been in years past. Why is Vashon, trying to help more independent people get their projects greenlit and get them made?
Well, I think speaking from my experience as an independent film producer, I'm very aware, maybe more aware than most people of the pain points and the struggle of making independent film. And I'm blessed to be in the position that I'm in now. So the Film Institute itself was really founded beyond what it was intended to do with the film festival and help the Vashon Theater. But when we started looking at more of what its broad goals were, it became very important to me that it, not just celebrate independent cinema, but actually support it. And so that's why things like the Quartermaster Lab and VFI Presents are designed to assist, independent filmmakers on a road that is often, littered with obstacles and hurdles to get around, and we're there to help them cross those.
Mhm. Awesome. Well, thank you very much for your time. I can't wait to finish watching the slate you guys have for the film festival. So far, every film has hit it out of the park.
Yeah, thank you so much.